Thank you for tuning in today. I am Dr. Victoria Jewel Hart, and I will be speaking on the art of the goal. May we bow our head in prayer, please. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable in your sight. I ask that everyone that hears my voice today be blessed tenfold for the time that they are here with listening to this message. I pray that they are safely reaching their destination, as well as they're led to share this message with at least one other person. Amen. What steps do we take when we find ourselves in a seemingly impossible situation? Many people at one time or another may experience some kind of failure or defeat. How do we overcome these experiences? How can we obtain an appropriate answer to the question, what shall I do now? Do challenges help open our minds and learn to be more resourceful? Okay. A person may recognize a guilt feeling from what might be considered a failure. What failed? The individual? If so, what really did fail? Was it because he perceived he didn't do what he should have done or could have done? Why didn't he? We may not have a readily response to these questions and say, I don't know. Or we might come up with a variety of reasons. A person might say he failed because he wasn't smart enough or didn't make good choices or didn't act effectively. If he had performed in a certain manner, he would have been a success, etc. Do blame or guilt directed toward ourselves or toward others, or harboring guilt feelings from past errors improve any situation? Of course not. Such responses are not helpful or progressive. We can forgive ourselves for the things we may regret, accept the lesson, and then let's just continue on. Every one of us can find room for self-improvement, regardless of our situation, place in life, or circumstances. However, it is important to prove to ourselves through the discipline of our thoughts, feelings, and actions that we all have the ability to accomplish such progress as we make up our mind to do so. Fear, hesitancy, and feelings of inadequacy can paralyze our mental action and feed the idea of defeat or failure. So let's get moving. Thomas Edison knew 800 ways not to build a light bulb. One of Madame Curie's failures was a radium. Christopher Columbus thought he had discovered the East Indies when it actually was America. Rodgers and Hammerstein's first musical collaboration bombarded so badly that they didn't get together again for years. But did these failures stop the progress of these daring souls? The whole story of thought is filled with people who arrived at the wrong or different destination. How many times have we been on rock bottom and the kind of thoughts and words of encouragement spoken by a friend provided the incentive for us to try again? How often have we continued extended effort because someone believed in us? Is the real courage necessary for overcoming adversity, a spiritual idea stemming from the mind of God? Courage to continue, desired with all the intensity of our heart, believed in and sought after until it becomes an awakened part of our nature, can handle difficult situations. We develop the ability to keep on keeping on. Some of the greatest challenges often bring most profound opportunities. Now can we consider the possibility that opportunities don't just happen? Could they be the result of practical vision? When something wonderful happens in a person's life, it is usually explained that the person was at the right place at the right time when the opportunity came along. Could it be that the person was able to perceive an opportunity from an inner perspective, to recognize it when it came along, and to proceed to do something about it? Can we be willing to acknowledge that situations we may have considered failures were actually training sessions for greater growth? If we allow ourselves to swallow this defeat, then isn't it our ability to function effectively severely impaired? Almost every great leader, athlete, explorer, scientist, thinker, inventor, and business person has made mistakes and experienced failure in some manner. These people did not blame themselves or anyone else for that matter. Instead, they used their mistakes as powerful lessons on how to improve themselves and their performance. They understood that failure was a monumentary occurrence and did not necessarily mean defeat. They refused to swallow the bitterness of failure and were willing to persevere to the sweetness of success. Self-confidence leads to happiness and success. In closing, with self-confidence, a person can accomplish almost anything he or she sets as a goal. One clue to developing greater self-confidence could lie in answering the question, where am I going to place my confidence? Will it be an outer perspective, or will it be on the divinity within me? Unquote. What a question. That's a wonderful way to kind of pause and stop and end. It's wonderful to think about this and meditate on. I want to thank you for tuning in today. I again thank you for your time, your courtesy, your questions that have been wonderful by email. So keep them coming. I appreciate all of your suggestions and your honesty, because really that is what the spiritual laws of life are all about. So thank you again. Have a great evening. Be blessed.